Today's video is sponsored by me, Jason Akers. I know a lot of YouTubers and content creators are placing ad breaks in their videos these days in order to make ends meet. And I understand why, but all my videos are created by me, paid for by me. I buy my own cameras, editing software, microphones. I spend hours of time recording and editing the videos for you, my audience. I don't like a lot of self-promotion, but I wanted to take the time to let you know about the ways you can help support the videos and my content. I have a large list of links in every description of every video I provide you with. All of the pesticides I use in my business are listed on my Amazon page. When I started my business, I used Amazon a lot in order to receive my chemicals and equipment the next day delivery. It's a service that I trust. So I list pesticides there for you to find. I also have several affiliate links listed for B&G products and pesticides as well. My course on bedbugs is the #1 course on Udemy's website that goes over extensive treatment methods on the control of bedbugs, from automobile treatment to living room and even bedrooms as well. If you have checked all of those links and still wish to support me, I have a PayPal, Patreon, and other ways to donate to the channel in the links on my main page of YouTube, as well as in the description of every one of my videos. As always, the best way to support me at what means the most to me is if you will like this video, if you will share this video with your friends, and if you will subscribe to my channel. That honestly means the most to me, and that's what keeps me going, truly. More than money, more than anything else, is just keeping you guys happy and keeping you with the content that you like to have. Speaking of subscribing, I also have a join button at the top of my YouTube channel as well. This feature is new with YouTube and works in much the same way as a Twitch subscription works. When you hit this button and join the channel, it gives you special features that only joining the channel can give. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. I look forward to reading your comments in the comment section below, giving me any suggestions you might have for the next video. So don't forget, like and subscribe, and on with the show. Hello, everybody. Jason Akers with Akers Pest Control. Hope everybody's having a good night. I've been gone, been absent for quite a while, but I'm here. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight. Thursday night, coming in on the weekend. Won't be long. What's everybody plan on doing this weekend? That made a weird whistling noise. Oh my goodness. So I've had a holiday 2 weeks ago. Was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida last Thursday. Couldn't get on live, but I'm here now. Back in Virginia, working like a dog. So here I am. How's everybody doing? Is everybody doing good? Hope everybody's doing all right. I actually came back home, started driving home Monday, got home Tuesday, been working yesterday and today and tomorrow, all next week. I had to line up a whole bunch of stuff because people call you. If you ever go out of town and you own your own company, you're going to get calls when you think you're not going to get calls. That is called Murphy's Law. That is what I live by every day. All my life. So, my hat is always crooked. Does my hat look crooked? Does my hat look crooked, Emma?
No.
It does not look crooked?
No.
Emma is here with me. She's playing this. Sitting here beside me. She's my buddy. My Bob Ross is gone because Finley likes to play with Bob Ross. But I do have Amber Heard. She's still here. I think she's still alive. Ooh, look at that. What has happened? Something new has happened. Something new has happened here. What has happened? Let me get my light. Something new has happened. Let us see. She has shed. There's no way. This has got to be the wrong vial. This is the problem with having bedbugs as pets. Oh, there she is. There she is all by herself. Those ones up there were dead. And that's why I was like, I know she's not dead. She's still alive. I think she's still alive. Oh, no. She might be dead. Uh-oh. She fed on the bug man's blood and it killed her. Oh, goodness. She's dead. We shall have a burial. I've got, let's see, I'm torn between doing it myself and letting Terminex handle it. They go against a lot of Jason's rules. They don't want to treat my whole house, just the affected rooms. Don't sound right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, she didn't lay eggs. I don't know what that was in there, but she hadn't laid eggs. So, but anyway, so one of the reasons that I recommend doing the whole house when treating for bed bugs is because that's the way I've always done it. When bed bugs started to become a problem back in the 2000s, actually 4 or 5 years ago, the Department of Agriculture released a really good report in Virginia about how bed bugs were spreading worse because exterminators weren't doing the whole building. So in instances like apartments, houses, where they were just going in and doing single units or single rooms, was causing the problem to die out in that room, but then they spread around, and because they're not doing the whole building, they spread throughout everywhere else, and then eventually when the chemical wears off in that bedroom, they're right back in there again. So it's not just because of the way I do it, it's actually recommended by the Virginia State Department of Agriculture in Virginia. And so that's what they recommend. They recommend treating the entire location. In fact, when you do a hotel, if somebody in a hotel room were to get bed bugs, then you treat. Let me show you. I've done this. I think I've done this once or twice before. But let me explain to you what happens when you treat for bed bugs. Let's see here. Boom. All right. So let's go. Let's make this bigger. All right, so if you've got a hotel room here, actually, let's do this like this. It's a little smaller. All right, put a hotel room there, a hotel room here, and then you got, this one is the affected room, so we'll make it red, and then this one, we'll make it black, because it's not affected. All right. So the affected room is here in the middle. This is the one with bed bugs. So what happens when you have, multiple rooms that have bed bugs, and this works with a house too, the bed bugs will actually travel several different ways. So somebody just subscribed. Thank you, whoever did that. So you'll have outlets throughout the wall. All right. And typically in a hotel and a house, in fact, this house too, that I live in, the outlets actually connect through the wall. So sometimes they'll even share the same breaker. So what'll happen is the electrician will run their wire through the wall, and then they connect one outlet on one side and one outlet on the other side. It just makes it easier that way. So this gives a pathway through the wall for bed bugs to travel. So from the affected room, the bed bugs will actually go this way and this way. But that's not all. So bed bugs will also travel through the doorway, and they'll go this way and this way through the doors of each room. So this happens just naturally, just through travel. Not because this room has been treated, just because this is what bugs do. This is what bed bugs do. It's what ants do. It's what cockroaches do. All kinds of bugs will travel this way between rooms in a building. So when you come in as a salesman and you decide, well, I really want this job, so I want the cheapest price possible for the owner, I'm going to just treat this one room and tell them, we can get rid of your problem by just treating the one room. No problem. We'll come in, we'll do it like $325 or $250 or whatever. Really cheap price. Cheapest price that they've gotten so far, because it's just one room. They're not doing everything that they're supposed to. But what has happened is in the days leading up to the treatment, the bed bugs have been traveling and moving around. And now they're in this room here, and they're in this room here, and they may not have bit anyone in those rooms yet. Or there may not even be anybody sleeping in those rooms. They're just kind of wandering around. And they're in this room and they're in that room. You come and you treat this room. Yes, you kill the bed bugs in this room, but then there's bed bugs here and there's bed bugs here. And they just travel back. And then they're back in this room again. And so if you don't treat this room and this room and this room, and if it's a hotel, you also need to treat the room that's across the hall from that room. All right? Because they'll go across the hall too. They'll do that too. So they'll do this like that. You see? So you treat 4 rooms, not just one room. Now that may cost 4 times as much money because you're doing 4 times as much work. But you don't have to come back. You don't have to pay for a retreatment. You don't have to pay for constantly treating. And not only that, let's say you just treat this one room, and then the bed bugs have spread. So now they're in this room, this room, this room, and this room down here. Well, then when you come back, when the bug man comes back to treat again, now they're having to treat this room and the one over here. I know my screen kind of covers it up, but there's one there. And if there's rooms on this side and this side. So now you see what's happened. You have compounded the problem by just do the 4 rooms in the first place. Now you got to treat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rooms. You see what I'm saying? Maybe even the whole floor needs to be treated now because they've spread all over the place. So it's better to treat the problem room and all adjacent rooms. That takes care of the problem. And in a house, you treat the whole house because every room is adjacent in a house. So you treat every room. You don't skip stuff. You skipping stuff is going to just cause your problem to be worse. So, being cheap never pays. Not when it comes to pest control. So, how do I just get the Discord? There's a Discord link in the description of the video. Every single one of my videos has a Discord link in the description. In fact, all my new ones within the last couple years since I've had Discord. But let me see if I can show you how to find it. If you go to, let's see, there's my car. If you go to YouTube, let's see. I don't even have a window open yet. I was not prepared, was I? Let's go up here. Let's go to youtube.com/Green Akers Pest Control. Let's just go Green Akers PC. All right, there we are. So if you're on the live, which you are, you click the live stream. Show you how to. There I am. That's the live stream. You just watched me go over that. All right, and you scroll down and you click this little in this gray window right here. It says show more. If you click that and then scroll down just a little bit more, there's a Discord link right here. And that's the Discord link. So I'm going to actually copy that, highlight and copy. I'm going to paste that in chat. There you go. So everybody that wants to join the Discord can join the Discord. Let's see, new here, my parents have an infestation. How in the hell do we deal with furniture such as a table, desk, etc.? I mean, all right, so for those that don't know, for those that haven't been here and are new, because there are some new people here, I want to introduce you. Amazon.com/shop/Great Akers Pest Control. All right, so this is my Amazon page. This is bedbug supplies. Let's click that link. All right, let's click this link. Well, let's click just the Crossfire link by itself. All right, there's Crossfire. Okay, that is what I recommend to treat bedbugs with. This is what I use in my business. When I do bedbug work, I use Crossfire. That's the chemical I use. If you were local to me and you called me, that's what I'm going to come and use in your house. You can buy it. It's on Amazon. This week, it's $39.43. All right? Not very expensive. So you can actually buy a kit. I put a kit up, I think it was last week or several weeks ago. I put up a kit where if you click here, it's actually got Crossfire and a little spray bottle, so you don't have to worry about, you know, what to mix it in. It just comes with a sprayer and everything that you can mix it and apply it. So Crossfire is a very unique type of a pesticide when dealing with bed bugs. Most pesticides are highly repellent to bugs. So this means that when you spray the chemical, the bug sees the chemical, they don't crawl through it. Although if you spray bugs directly with it, it kills them. But then later, the bugs that are still hiding in the walls and around those outlet covers, like we showed in this picture here, where they're in these walls right in here, they don't come out because the room's been treated. They see the chemical, so they avoid it. Crossfire is not like that. Crossfire is a non-repellent chemical, so the bed bugs don't see the chemical. So when you ask questions like, what about chairs? What about desks? What about tables? What about dressers? What about all this stuff? You can treat your dressers. You can treat your chest of drawers, nightstands, tables, under table legs, stuff like that. You can treat that stuff if you want to. But if you treat your mattress and your box spring and your headboard, footboard, your bed rails, your sofas, your lazy boy recliners, your major furniture in the house, all the cracks and crevices and the places the bed bugs are going to go to hide, the bed bugs don't see the chemical. They crawl through the chemical and they die. So, like I say, I've said this many, many times before, if you've got let's say you've got a bed, all right, you're an exterminator. Let's put you in my shoes, all right? You go into a room, and here's your room right here. There's a bed. This is a little room. Not a lot of space in this room. Got a little table here. Got a little table here. Got a dresser over here. Got a little, maybe the doorway is right here. All right? Well, I didn't do a very good doorway. That's a door. That looks like a door, don't it, Emma? Just like a door. Right? All right, perfect. All right. So there's your room. So the first thing I ask myself when I do a bed bug job is, where is the food? All right, well, you're the food. So the food is here. That's where you sleep, okay? You don't sleep on the nightstand. You don't sleep on the dresser. So the bed bugs are going to be attracted here, all right? Right here, where you are, all right? Let's say you have bed bugs in your nightstand and your dresser. Well, they're not going to get a blood meal from here. They're not going to get a blood meal from here. They're not going to get a blood meal on the ceiling fan. They're going to get a blood meal here where you are. You are sleeping here. So when you treat the mattress with a pesticide like Crossfire, and you treat the box spring, and you treat the bed legs of the bed, and you treat the headboard and the footboard and everywhere that connects to this bed, you treat it all. When the bed bugs come out to bite you, they have to crawl over this treated surface. They do not see the chemical. They don't know it's there. So they come out, they behave like normal, business as usual, the food is there, let's go eat. So they come out and they start biting you. All right, they will bite you. Even after you treat with Crossfire, they will still bite you. But if they have come into contact with this surface that has been treated, which is where you sleep, they will die. That's how it works. So that's how the pesticide works. That's why you don't need to go excessively and treat all this stuff. If you haven't seen bed bugs, now if you've seen bed bugs on your dresser, look, because it's so close to the bed, maybe they are living on the little nightstands or whatever. You can take the drawers out and you can treat inside these. I've got videos on my channel showing how to treat, inside nightstands and dressers and stuff like that. Go look it up and find those videos and watch them, and I'll teach you how to do it. But you don't have to. Eventually, these bugs are going to have to come out, and they're going to have to go to this spot right here to get food. And when they do, they'll die. And that includes the babies when they hatch, that's the adults, that's the nymphs, that's every stage of bed bug will eventually have to have a blood meal at some point, and when they do, they come out and they bite you. And they crawl across the surface and they die. So that's work. It works. It works really, really, really well. But it's a common sense way of dealing with an insect problem. Similar with ants and cockroaches. If you treat an area where the roaches are going to go and they don't see the pesticide for what it is, they don't know it's a chemical, they crawl through it and they die. Ants, spiders, every bug, you have to put yourself in the mind of the bug and where would it go, and you treat those areas and they die. It's like a complex chess game, really, actually easier than chess, because bugs never change. They're always the same, like a robot. They're programmed to behave a very specific way, and if you know how they behave, it's really easy to intercept that insect. So, if I've answered your question. Now, if you're wanting to treat because you're moving from one place to another, you treat your moving truck in much the same way like I show with these, like when you treat the baseboards and the all the stuff. You treat your moving truck before you move your furniture into it, and then you treat your house before you move your stuff into your house. That way, if there's bed bugs on any furniture that you move from one spot to another, when they move it into the new place, anywhere the bed bugs try to get out to infest, they die, and they don't reinfest that new place. That works really well. I've done that for a lot of people that have moved out of like slumlord type apartments, and they've moved into a different apartment, or they moved into a house. I've treated their house before they moved, and the bed bugs don't get a foothold. They die there. There may be some residuals, maybe on a box spring or something like that, but they all eventually come out and die. So, yeah, Celeste says that she saw in the news that Hawaii airports are having a bedbug problem. Honolulu Airport had to close the entire terminals for treatment. I didn't see that. You guys are supposed to send me this stuff on Discord so I can see this stuff. I need to see this stuff. I've been out of town. I don't mean I haven't been on Discord. I've been on Discord. But I just haven't been able to chat on the live streams. Well, Kirsten, Crossfire is pretty non-toxic. What is your definition of toxic? That's one of the things you got to think about. And so let's go over a couple of things with Crossfire, and one of the reasons I recommend Crossfire. And this is the best thing about it. I'm going to go over this. I'm going to show you why. So let's go back to, let's actually look at the label. Let's compare labels. All right. What happened here? That's weird. That was odd how that happened. All right, so let's go to the Crossfire label. All right, MGK's website. This is actually the company that produces Crossfire. So let's go to the label. This is the newest label. All right. Keep out of reach of children. Okay. So let's look at Alpine, another chemical I use. All right. So I want to go over a couple of things about a label. Let's go ahead and put one on this side. And where is Alpine? There. All right. So let's look at Alpine. Can I get rid of the pages? Can I not get rid of the pages? Well, I don't have to. It doesn't matter. You can see what I want to show you anyway. All right. So this is a cool thing about Crossfire. So this Alpine's on the right. Crossfire is on the left. If you look right here, it says keep out of reach of children. Okay? On the label of Crossfire. If you look over here, it also says keep out of reach of children, but it says caution on the label. Now, caution, out of the signal words, let's look up one more window here. Let's go label. All right. So these are your signal words.
There's one simple...
That's not what I wanted to do. I thought that was a picture. Let's see. Will this be a picture? There we go. There's a picture. All right. So this is your definition of signal words. Signal words depict how a pesticide is toxic. How toxic is it? Okay? You've got poison. Danger poison. It's like skull and crossbones. All right? That's the worst. Bright red, extremely toxic. The LD50 value is less than 50, and it's poison in red. Keep out of reach of children. If swallowed or symptoms of poisoning occur, call a doctor. That's the worst. That's the most poisonous a pesticide can be. Okay? Then you have poison, which is the next level up. Bright yellow, highly toxic, 51 to 500 on an LD50 value. Now, this is how many parts per million it takes to kill something. That's what an LD50 value is. All right? So it's 51 to 500 parts per million. Poison, in red, keep out of reach of children. Okay? That's still pretty dangerous. Blue is danger. Okay? Bright blue, moderately toxic. 501 to 5,000 parts per million. Danger, keep out of reach of children. Okay? This is not as toxic as these two. But when you get to caution, you're getting into something that's hardly toxic, slightly toxic. Okay? Greater than 5,000 parts per million is what it takes to kill something. It may not kill it at all. Like Alpine doesn't really kill anything at all. And it's caution. All right? That's the signal word. Okay? So when you look at Alpine WSG and Crossfire, Alpine has caution, which is the green. It's the least of the dangerous of any pesticide, okay? Except for Crossfire. Crossfire does not have a signal word. Crossfire is so non-toxic that does not even require a signal word on the label. The EPA says that it is not toxic enough to need a signal word, so they opted to keep it off the label. So that is how non-toxic Crossfire is. So if you treat an airport with Crossfire, it's considered a non-toxic type of a treatment. You can use it, it's non-toxic. Interesting how that works, isn't it? So there's a label lesson for you, because the label is the law, right? So that's why I like Crossfire. That's why I like to recommend it. You got to think about it this way. All right, I'm on the internet. I'm on YouTube. I am showing people things that I do to kill bugs, how I kill cockroaches, how I kill bed bugs, how I kill bugs. For me to advise you to buy a pesticide, the likeliness that you will misapply a chemical is pretty high because you're not trained. You're not, unless you're a trained professional. There are some people in here that are trained professionals, but not everyone is. Most of the people who watch my YouTube channel are not trained professionals. It would be really ridiculously stupid of me to recommend a highly toxic chemical for you to spray around your house and risk harming you, yourself, your children, your pets, anything like that. So I try to advise people of the most least toxic ways possible to kill bugs and still be effective. So that's what we're doing. AH said, donated $5. Thank you very much. Says, any tips to get rid of wolf spiders? Moved into a house with an overgrown yard. Yard is mowed now, but still a lot of wolf spiders around the house. What would you do for wolf spiders, Emma?
I don't know.
I think if you called over a Red Riding Hood spider, you would get it to pay attention to it enough that then you could kill it. What do you think about that? It's a wolf spider. If you use a little Red Riding Hood spider, right? It would be like a distraction.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Or maybe 3 little pig spiders.
Yeah.
And get it so it's distracted and then just squish it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah, see, Lemma agrees with me, so it must work. Now, I actually recommend Onslaught Fast Cap. Onslaught Fast Cap is a really good spider pesticide. I haven't done a video on Onslaught yet, I don't think I have. I wanted to, but then I didn't. What's wrong?
Good.
Oh. It's all done. Let's see. Let me see if I can show you. Onslaught Fast Cap's amazing. Let's see. So, Onslaught Fast Cap, spider and scorpion pesticide. So let's look at the label. All right. Fast-acting, micro-encapsulated formula combines fast kill residual control, kills ants, spiders, scorpions, fleas, and other listed insects. Kills mosquitoes, including Aedes mosquito that may transmit the Zika virus. So this is several different things it can be used for. You can use it inside. You can use it outside. It's safe to use inside and outside. It does have a weird smell. Personally, from using it. It could be used to control bed bugs, but I wouldn't recommend it for bed bugs. But, it does have bed bugs on the label. So, but it's extremely effective on spiders, inside and outside. Stick to cracks and crevices, baseboards, underneath furniture, sofas, like back against the baseboard, underneath the headboard, areas like that. Where spiders like to hide under furniture. They really like to hide under furniture and stuff, especially things like field spiders and wolf spiders like to do that. So, but you can use it inside and outside. My hair is all messed up. Look at this stuff. When you wear a hat all day long and you work all day in a hat, your hair gets trained to do this thing where it like sticks up everywhere like some weirdo, some car salesman. So follow the label. The label's a law. You mix half ounce, I think it's an ounce. Hold on a minute, let me show you what you do. Let me look here. Let's look here. So for flying insects, it's a half. For crawling insects, I'll say listed crawling insects, including litter beetles, it wants 1 fluid ounce per gallon. So that's how much you would mix to a gallon. For crawling insects. For flying insects, it says you mix half an ounce to a gallon. It says application method, you apply as a coarse wet spray, general surface spray, crack and crevice treatment, spot treatment, or you can inject it into wall voids to kill bugs. Recommendations for outside roaches. Why are you worried about roaches outside the house? See, now, I don't recommend doing a lot of stuff outside for bugs like roaches and stuff. I mean, yeah, you could use Alpine, you could use Onslaught. Fast Cap actually will kill roaches for up to 12 months. It actually kills German cockroaches up to 12 months on concrete surfaces. But yeah, you can use Niban and stuff like that. I don't know. The outside stuff doesn't really bother too many people around here. As long as the bugs aren't coming in the house, most people don't care. But if you're really that concerned, like Kristen says, Niban granules are really good outside. If they're coming inside the house, then you need to treat inside and outside, because if anything gets past your chemical barrier outside to inside, they won't die. We aren't. Oh, are you going to bed? Okay. Love you. With bugs that come in the house, all right, so we're just humans. We're not perfect. There's possibility of missing a spot. This is why I do inside and outside pest control for most of my customers, is because it's always a possibility that you'll miss a spot and the bug sees it, comes through it, gets in the house, or just happens to go in a way that you can't get to. Up real high, maybe you can't reach it. And so the bugs come in, you treat inside and outside, cracks and crevices. I'll tell you what, Kristen. Let me tell you something. Let me show you something. Let me show you, Miss Georgia. Let me show you something now. I'm going to show you a picture. I'm going to look it up on my phone, and it's going to be awful because it's on my phone. But I want to show you my most recent trip. So, I went to Savannah. All right, so I drove down. When I went down to Florida, so I went to Fort Lauderdale, just got back from Fort Lauderdale. I drive down 220. I hit 220 in Greensboro, and from Greensboro, I go 29 to 220 in Greensboro. And then in Greensboro, I get on, eventually I ended up on on State Road 9, travel from Florence all the way across the state of South Carolina. And I stayed at a hotel which was that hotel called, Alicia? She can't hear me. She's upstairs. I stayed at a hotel, and this is what I saw. Can you see that? Can you see that? Now, you know what that is, don't you? I know what that is. But you know what that is, right? That was in my hotel floor. It was dead. It wasn't alive. It was dead. But I knew what it was as soon as I saw it. But I didn't know. We don't have them in Virginia. But that's a palmetto bug. And, yes. Very, very large cockroach. It was probably about that big. It was, let's see if I got something to compare it to. So this is a pair of nail clippers. It's a regular pair of nail clippers. Most people know what those are. All right? It was about that much longer. It was pretty big. It was a very, very, very big palmetto bug. No, it wasn't American. It was palmetto. It had wings and everything. It's palmetto bug. It's absolutely a palmetto bug. But it did. I thought for a minute it was an American roach, but when I got it and I looked at it up close and realized just how large it was actually a palmetto bug. But I wasn't too worried about it. I was picking it up and kicking it around and throwing it at them and scaring her, but it was dead. It didn't. See, this is a sadistic thing that an exterminator deals with every day. I'm not scared of bugs, but it was dead. It was dead. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. It was dead. But that's the thing about palmetto bugs is palmetto bugs will get in, but they die really easy because they're coming in from outside. So they're not used to the inside pesticides that we use. And because the hotel has regular pest control, the palmetto bug was dead in the floor. So it got in, but it died. But Are palmetto bugs the same as American roaches? Because I was under the impression American roaches were different. We do have American roaches in Virginia, but I thought they were two different breeds. Yeah, you're right. A cockroach species commonly called palmetto bug is an American cockroach. Well, we do have those in Virginia then, but they're very rare. I did not know that. I learned something new tonight. Well, good. Well, my son said it was an American roach, and I said he was wrong. It was a palmetto bug. So I was wrong. He was right. Well, we were both right, I guess, but he was right. He wasn't wrong. So I'll have to tell him he was right. He'll like to hear that. Because I sent him a picture. He flew, so we went down early. I left Virginia Tuesday. We drove maybe 4 or 5 hours and took a break, and then we drove the next day. But Rory actually flew to Florida and met us down there, and I sent him the picture to his phone, and I said, "What kind of a roach is this? I just found it in the hotel room," and he thought it was an American roach. That's what he thought too, but it was. Yeah, he was right. I was right too, though. So, I did not know that. I learned something new tonight. See, I'm always learning. You should always learn new things. Strive to learn new things to make yourself a better exterminator. But anyway, so American cockroaches here, we don't hardly ever see them. They're a very rare thing to see. And typically, an American cockroach infestation, if you have them, which this would explain why the places that people see them in Virginia are usually very steamy, hot, humid areas. So if your house were heated with a boiler, which most houses aren't anymore, some still are, the houses that do have boilers in their basement where it's always on and it's hot and it's humid, steamy, those things love that type of an area. So that's what we find it in. Like there are steam vents that run to the Lynchburg College in Lynchburg, Virginia, and a lot of those pipes and stuff will get infested with American cockroaches because they're hot and humid. But they prefer a hot and humid area like down south where you see them outside all the time. You go to Georgia and Florida and South Carolina, even southern parts of South Carolina, and you see them everywhere because they like that hot environment. They like it warm. But I had a customer one time who had, I don't know why his basement was so hot all the time. It was always so hot. He didn't have a boiler, but it was always so hot in his basement and steamy and wet. And he used to get those American roaches, and it was actually a restaurant, and they would come up through the floorboards and come up into the top of the restaurant and crawl around up there. And people freak out because they see these gigantic roaches in the restaurant. And that's the only roach job I've ever had that was American roaches. It's the only one in 35 years that I've ever done. So it was kind of crazy thing to do. I enjoyed it though. I like different things. You know, you get used to doing the same thing over and over and over. It's kind of nice to have a change every now and then. So anyway, I'm not going to be able to stay on much longer tonight. I'm on really late, but I have to work. I've been working like crazy. That's the problem. Whenever you take off work, you're always working real hard. Are rust dots bedbug poop? No, rust dots are blood stains. So typically bedbugs leave black spots, not rusty colored spots. Regular exterior pest control usually handles them. Yeah, same with oriental roaches. It's real easy to handle those unless you're in the city, and then they come up the drains and stuff too. But when you're in the country, you know, oriental roaches can be controlled with regular exterior pest control too. Asian roaches, oriental roaches, wood roaches like a Pennsylvania wood roach, American roaches, stuff like that can be controlled with outside. But yeah, black dots are bedbug poop. Rusty spots are usually blood stains. So what happens is when a bedbug bites you, it has an anticoagulant in its saliva, which causes you to free bleed so they can feed on you. And when they break free, a lot of times you'll bleed a little bit on the sheets or on your pillowcase or whatever. And those little rusty brown dried spots is actually your dried up blood. So, but if you see rusty spots under your pillow and you spray Crossfire 3 times, it could be, rusty spots under your pillow. Do you sleep with your arm under your pillow? Like, I don't know. I don't have a pillow handy. You know, like this. Like that. There'd be a pillow between your face and your arm. If that's the case, the bed bugs will come up while your arm's under the pillow and bite you on your arm, and you'll bleed on the underside of your pillowcase, leaving rusty spots on your pillowcase. It does take bed bugs about... I've just started telling people give it 3 to 4 weeks to kill them. That's the honest truth. It takes 3 to 4 weeks to kill a bed bug infestation. If you're still having bed bugs after the 3rd to 4th week, you need to retreat. So, hey, Teresa. Teresa done donated $5. You could just ask. You just ask. Eventually, I get the questions. I do. You don't have to donate nothing. What's the longest you've seen a bed bug take to die after being exposed to a residual from Crossfire? I have never tested that. So, I will have to test that. But I have sprayed it directly on a bed bug and seen them die within minutes. I mean, really, honestly, it says on the label it kills them within 5 minutes, but I have actually sprayed it directly on a bed bug and had it kill over within seconds. So, but the label claims 5 minutes. It claims 5 minutes from exposure. When it's first applied, it should kill them. Don't see bugs, though, just the dots from some bites. Now, it could be something else biting you. It may not be bed bugs at all. Rusty color can be, if it's granulated, like coffee grounds, it can be black and rusty colored coffee grounds, kind of. That's called flea dirt. Fleas leave that. But, ants will bite you. Spiders will bite you. You can have reactions from carpet beetles. They can cause blistering and sores and bloody spots. There's lots of bugs. Centipedes can bite you. Scorpions can sting you. Lots of things can be causing you discomfort, and they're not bed bugs at all. If you haven't found an actual bug and you flipped your beds and you've looked under the staples and everything of your box spring and all, and you haven't actually found anything, then you probably don't have bed bugs. And if you buy tempered, you should just flush your money down the toilet, because tempered's pretty much resistant. Bed bugs are pretty much resistant to tempered. They have an extreme resistance to tempered. Tempered is not what I recommend. If you want to use tempered, that's what every exterminator that can't kill bed bugs uses, is tempered. Tempered is not an option for bed bug control. Never. You couldn't pay me to use tempered. Tempered's crap. It used to be good. It's a imidacloprid. It's good for other things. It's good for cockroaches. It's good for ants. It's not really good for bed bugs. Not anymore. Let me see here. What was I going to do? I had an idea and it hit me in the head, and now it's gone. Can't remember. I can't remember. I hate when that happens. You don't need to use an adjuvant. It depends on the bug you're dealing with. I don't use adjuvants myself unless the adjuvant is already in. Some pesticides come with one already in it. And if that's the case, well, yeah, I do. But I don't actually mix adjuvants in with my pesticides. I don't do that. I've never had to do it. Never had to do it. One morning I woke up and the back of the ankle was itchy and there was a blood spot on the end of the bed, but it didn't turn rusty, just blood color. So, if you can't find bed bugs, but you got bed bug bites and you got blood stains, okay? and you've looked everywhere. You've gotten your flashlight out. You flip up your box spring. Let me show. I remember what I was going to do now. Let's do this. Let me look up some stuff here. All right. So let's look at a picture. I wonder if I can just copy this. Let me just copy this image, and let's share my screen, and we'll go with new. Don't save. All right. So this is a picture I got off Google. Okay. This is the bottom of a box spring. Let me show you places to find bed bugs. If you're having problems finding bed bugs, these are places you can look. And I love this picture. This is a great picture. So let me show you where to look to find bed bugs. I think this could be very beneficial. So this is, of course, this big black thing. This is that piece of felt. I call it felt. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a mesh or something. I don't know. I've always called it felts, okay? This felt is usually stapled all the way around the edge. In fact, you can see there's a staple there. There's a staple there. There's a staple there. You know, where it's stapled to the bottom of the box spring. Okay? When you flip this up, you see how he's got his fingers right here? This piece of cloth that's folded over that wooden frame, peel this back and look in that little crack there. Okay, and this is if you can't find. Normally you could see them on the staples, like these little staples right here. They'll get there. These corner guards, you can't see it. Let me see if I can move this again. Let me see. How do I do it? Let me undo. Oh, let's paste it again. Let's try that. Let me get it into a better spot so you can see it. So I want you to be able to see this. This is the whole point of this. All right. There we go. Okay. So this is everything you need to see. So if you look right here, there's a corner guard right here. It's a little piece of white plastic that goes around this corner of the box spring. There's 4. It'll be one here, one there, there'll be one there, and there'll be one on this corner over here that's actually cut off the screen. All right, you need to peel those back and look behind those, okay? If you're trying to find bed bugs, these are places to look. These staples, all these staples here, all the way around the whole rim. Look around all those staples. Peel this piece of cloth back and look underneath this edge of this cloth, all the way down this edge. Peel it back and look under it. Now, you don't have to remove the staples or anything like that. You'll see them if they're under there because they wedge underneath this piece of fabric, okay? And there's actually, now it doesn't show in this picture, but right here, and here, and here, there are joints. You see these wood slats? They go all the way across and they join in the middle. Check the cracks around those wooden slats. See if you see any bed bugs there. They'll also hide in this little piece of fabric inside the box spring. You can open it up and you can find them in these corners and stuff inside that. Look in that. All right, that's a box spring. Those are places to check. And of course, on the top, if you flip it around the other way, there's actually a seam around. See, here's actually a spot right here where they ripped the piece of that black stuff off, and you actually see a little piece of it left behind right there. That actually might be some bed bug droppings right there. Look for black spots all around those staples. So if you look around this stuff like this and you don't see any marks at all, and you don't see any poop stains, and you don't see any bed bugs, and you're not finding anything, more than likely you don't have bed bugs, at least not on the box spring. All right, and the box spring is usually like the pay dirt. You go into a house and they're suspected of having bed bugs, and you take the box spring off, and you start doing exactly what I'm showing you to do right here, you will, 9 times out of 10, if the house has bed bugs, they're hiding out in the box spring. And you can find them there. It's a really easy place to find them. If you have an encasement on, that does not mean you don't have bed bugs on your box spring. Bed bugs will hide in mattress encasements. Bed bugs can get in and out of mattress encasements. They are a false sense of security. They are not a good option to keep bed bugs out of your home, to ensure that bed bugs can't get out of your box spring or your mattress to bite you. It's not true. They can get out. And if you can't find bed bugs, don't assume you have them. You know, if I had a headache, I wouldn't take Pepto-Bismol for it. I would take a Tylenol. And the same goes for if I don't have a headache, I'm not going to take a Tylenol. I'm not going to take Pepto-Bismol. I'm not going to take any medication because I don't have a headache. But I need to figure out what's wrong with me, okay? There's something wrong with me. If you don't have bed bugs, yet you're getting bit, don't assume that you have bed bugs just because you get bug bites. There are lots of bugs that will bite you. Lots of bugs that will bite you. Let me show you a picture. All right. You see those bug bites? What did that? What did that? What made those bites? Now, you see how there's a bite here, here, and here, like a straight line, right? And then you have a little one like right here, like a cluster, like it fell off and bit again right there. Okay, and then you've got a bite here and here and here. They're almost in a straight line, kind of like a little triangle actually, but they're still in a line. And then you've got a cluster of bites right here, okay? So if you look at that, you could assume that that's bedbug bites. Looks like bedbug bites. But that's actually flea bites. Those are flea bites. Even though they look like bedbug bites, those are actually flea bites. What'll happen, and one of the reasons that you get them bitten this way, is sometimes it's because of a sock. Like if you've got a sock and you're wearing a sock and it goes like this, and the flea kind of perches into this elastic, and they start biting you along the edge of that elastic. Well, the flea isn't biting you in a line on purpose. It's because it's stuck in that elastic, and so it's biting you and biting you and biting you and biting you along the elastic band. It's really common for them to bite you there. That's how I get bit. Maybe not. So Matthew asks, wouldn't I have seen a flea in 8 months though? No, not always. Fleas are actually really hard to see. Fleas are very difficult to see. I've had people that have had fleas and not known it was fleas. Like let me show you another one. This is a really severe flea bite. This is how I react. I'm going to show you this image. And you're going to be like, oh my goodness. This is exactly how I react to flea bites. You see that? Now that's a Google image I got. But that is exactly how I react to fleas. I hate fleas. I wish fleas didn't exist. I hate them. There's probably a purpose for them. I don't know what it is, except it cause me hell. But this is exactly how I react to flea bites. If I go into a house and they have fleas, this is what my ankles look like. This is what my legs look like. The fleas will get down into my socks. They bite me all on my feet, inside my boots, and everything. They're hateful. I hate them. I hate them. I have no love for fleas. I don't really have a love for bed bugs either. I can't stand fleas or bed bugs, either one. But this is how they bite me. But, I mean, that's exactly how they bite me. But this right here, I've been bit like this too, in a mild flea infestation. This is about how many bites I come out with per leg. But I'll tell you what I started doing, though, to keep the fleas off of me. And it's worked really well in the last, 5 years I've been doing it, is I tuck my pants into my socks. And so, actually, I'm wearing a pair of socks. I'll show you what I did. So, there's my sock, all right? I will actually tuck my pant leg into my socks like that. See, like that? And then I will spray off the DEET spray all over my boots. I'll spray it on my pants. I spray it on my socks. And the fleas don't bother me anymore. And I won't take them home with me. But before I started using off, I would bring fleas home with me every single flea job. Every flea job, I would get them in my truck. I'd get them in my house. They'd be everywhere. But it's very... I have lots of carpet beetles. Oh, yeah. This same irritation like this same thing, can be carpet beetles too. I've gone into houses where people had carpet beetles, and this was the type of reaction they had from carpet beetles. The larvae are what do the damage. What happens is these now this is the beetle. The beetle itself doesn't do anything to you. But the larva, these right here, see these little fuzzy little hairs on their body? They shed those as they walk across your sheets and your covers, your comforters, and stuff like that. Those little hairs come off. And those hairs will cause reactions when your skin comes into contact with those little hairs. You'll get little blistery bug bites on your body from the hair that they shed. They don't bite you, they don't sting you, they don't hurt you. It's just a reaction. And not everybody reacts to those hairs. Like, I have no reaction to carpet beetles at all, but my wife will break out in horrible bites. We thought we had bed bugs. So about 6 years ago, I did a bed bug job. No other exterminator would go in the house, and I did it. I even went behind myself after I was done treating the bed bugs, and I actually vacuumed the woman's house for her and cleaned up all the dead bugs and everything. The woman was 82 years old. She wasn't able to do it for herself, and so I did it for her. And she, the bed bugs, now I don't know where I was going with that. I know I was going somewhere with that. But I can't remember what I was going to say about that. Well, anyway, carpet beetles, the hairs they leave behind are what you react to if you get anything from that. And you don't see them. They're so small, you're not going to see them. You're just going to roll over on them and have them on you. It's like the fuzzy caterpillar. Little fuzzy caterpillars. Let me show you. Black. So, one time, I had this right here in my sock. I was sitting by my door, helping my dad on his computer. I was sitting there working on his computer, and one of these got under the door and actually got onto my sock, and I had that horrible reaction, just like those flea bites I showed you, just like that. I had that reaction all along, and the caterpillar didn't bite me. He didn't bite me at all. It was a reaction to these tiny little spiny hairs. These hairs have a little bit of a venom on them, and when it touches your skin, you can have a reaction. That same reaction happens with carpet beetles, but it's just milder and not everybody reacts. So, oh yeah, I remember that bad bed bug job I had. We thought I had brought bed bugs home from this woman's house, and I turned everything upside down, and that's when I found carpet beetles and found out my wife was actually reacting to carpet beetles. So... I emailed you a couple days ago about heating books using heaters listed in the bedbug selection, and you mentioned this would probably be a better question for the live stream. Yes. So I want to explain some things about this. This is why I told you to ask me here, because let me see if I can get this up here. My Amazon page. All right. So when you go to my Amazon page and you go to the bedbug, now this is my bedbug selection here. So in some areas of the country, you can't order Crossfire. You can't get Crossfire at all. So in those areas, in fact, if you go back and you go down to, there's actually a bedbug one. Is it gone? I think it's gone. Oh, there it is. Bedbugs, New York and Canada. All right. So I made this years ago, because a lot of people in New York and Canada have a really hard time getting hold of Crossfire. So if you click this link, and you go down, I have these little infrared heaters there too. So what these do is they can heat small items to kill the bed bugs in the small items that you can't actually treat. And see, I have tempered listed there too. I have tempered listed for people that can't get it in the state or the country they live in, because some countries, some states you can get tempered, but you can't get Crossfire. Some states you can get this 5-minute bedbug killer and you can't get Crossfire. So this is kind of my way of trying to help those people that ask me for help. And so I don't recommend heating your items using these little heaters for things like books, comic books, textbooks, magazines, any personal items. I don't really recommend it unless it's the only option that you've got. If you have Crossfire available to you, treat your bed with Crossfire, keep your books near the bed, and the bed bugs that are in the books will crawl across the bed to kill you. To bite you, not to kill you. But, so there's no reason to go to all this trouble and buying all these heat machines and stuff like that. You really don't need to do it. You really just need to treat your furniture with the Crossfire, so when they crawl to get to you, they die. Because they can't get a blood meal from a book. They can't get a blood meal from your furniture. They can't get a blood meal from anything but you. And so you treat the area between you and them, so they have to crawl through it to die. Then they'll die. So. Most bed bug bites don't have puncture holes. Most bug bites don't. Tick bites, you can notice puncture holes. That's correct. Kristen says ticks do. Ticks do leave puncture holes, but most bugs don't. So what happens when a bug bites you? Man, talk about focus. When a bug bites you, your skin all around the area will swell up, and the hole closes almost instantly. It doesn't stay open. Unless it's like a bee sting or, something large, or a tick, because ticks actually burrow in real deep. They burrow their face into your body, and so they're making a bigger hole. But when you're dealing with things like bed bugs and mosquitoes and even fleas and stuff like that, most of the time you don't see a puncture hole. You just see an aggravated spot where the histamine is there, causing your skin to swell up. It's very rare. You're not going to see a puncture hole unless it's from something larger that's going to bite you and leave them behind. Like I said, bee stings and stuff like that. Maybe ants. Ants may leave one. Hey, Jason, just found bed bugs in my bed today, and I stumbled upon your videos on YouTube. Any tips as to first steps I should take to get rid of the bed bugs? Oh, yeah, I got all kinds of information on how to get rid of bed bugs. Let me show you a video, though, that I recommend people go watch. This is the number one that if I were to give it to anyone, I would say go watch this video. And it's a more recent one. Let's see if I can find it. It might be right here. There it is. It's right on the front page.
Do this.
Let's share. Copy this. And this is actually, I took a video that I had made years ago, and I went and redid it and kind of put a little bit of voiceover over it and made it a little bit different. So that's what I recommend you need to go watch at, Chad. I mean, you can, Matthew, but you need to get on the Discord to do that. I used to tell people to tweet me pictures, and that's a lot harder to do. So I would recommend you. This is not ice water, actually. This is all gone. It's empty. It's all gone. But I'm thirsty. So anyway, do bed bugs stay in just one place? No, they move around. They'll move around. If you move around, they'll move around. They'll follow you. They want to eat. They'll follow you. So that's what I would do, Jennifer. That's good advice. I would go see a doctor if you can't, at a dermatologist. But I will admit to you that if a dermatologist should not be able to diagnose a bug bite either unless you actually have the bug present. So, well, yeah, the dermatologist that told you it was bug bites, you shouldn't be going to that dermatologist anyway. You go to one. The dermatologist should tell you, hey, bring me the bug. Like I said, when I show you pictures like this, and you tell me it's bed bug bites, and I tell you it's fleas because that's what it is, you can't tell. And people will argue over what this is and what this isn't. And because everyone reacts differently to bug bites. Everyone reacts different to bug bites. Not everyone is going to have this type of reaction. Some people don't even react to flea bites, and those people are lucky. Can you get rid of bed bugs with just home remedies? No, you can't. You mentioned earlier that you do a whole house treatment generally. Does that include the kitchen and the basement? Any tips for these spaces? Yeah, just baseboards in those places. Just baseboards around window trim, that's all. Even dermatologists can't diagnose bug bites. I had a bed bug customer that was getting skin grafts before she figured out what it was. We are going to be moving soon. How do I ensure, other than spraying Crossfire at the new place, that I don't take... That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. That will work. That's all you need to do. Treat preventatively the new place you move to. Treat it. You probably will take them with you, but when you do, they'll die. In the new place, they won't infest. That's what you need to do. We sprayed Crossfire around the perimeter of a 2-bedroom almost 2 weeks ago. That's good. Bites all look so different. My bed bug bites were perfect with little circle rashes, almost like chickenpox. Right, and other people will get clustered bites, and they'll have weird hive reactions to a bed bug bite. I had one lady that got bit, and it blistered up almost the size of a quarter, and they were absolutely bed bug bites. And she just had a horrible reaction. She had to keep ice packs on them and everything because they were very painful. And so everyone reacts different to bug bites. Not everyone's the same. Whatever bug it was, 3 Crossfire and Phantom Spray should have stopped. That's not true. So let me explain something, because this is something I've had to go over with several people over the last week. Not months, week. Crossfire is for bed bugs. It is only for bed bugs. It is only designed to kill bed bugs. Okay? Just like Tylenol is for a headache or muscle aches or whatever. You can't take a Tylenol and expect it to cure cancer, because it won't. You need cancer treatment for that. You no matter how good Tylenol is, or Neosporin. Neosporin is fantastic, okay? You put that in a cut, just a couple days, you got a scab, you got a nice scar, it'll heal up real nice, it's great stuff. But I wouldn't take Neosporin for bad sinuses, okay? That you got to understand that Neosporin has its place, and it's not for everything. Crossfire is only for bed bugs. Just because it kills bed bugs so well does not mean it will kill other bugs. It won't. Crossfire will not kill bird mites. Crossfire doesn't do a very good job on carpet beetles. Crossfire does not kill fleas. There are several bugs that Crossfire will not kill effectively. There are other pesticides that do that job better. So Crossfire is not the option if you do not have bed bugs. If you've got something else bothering you and you're spraying Crossfire week in and week out, month in and month out, and it's been 8, 9, 10 months, and you're still not getting rid of whatever is biting you, change what you're doing. Stop using Crossfire. Crossfire is not working. You need to use a different chemical. Crossfire is only for bed bugs. There are chemical formulations that are designed with certain bugs in mind to attack certain biology. So insects have a biology. Arachnids have a biology. If I spray Alpine WSG in my home for bugs, spiders will actually live longer. They won't die as effectively from Alpine WSG as like if I were to use Onslaught Fast Cap. Even though Alpine will eventually kill the spider, it's not as effective as Onslaught. Onslaught is a better spider chemical, but then Onslaught may not kill ants as well as Alpine WSG. So depending on what you're trying to get rid of, that's the chemical you need to use. There is not a one-size-fits-all in pest control. I wish it was that easy, A lot of exterminators treat like temperate as a one-size-fits-all, that they can go in and kill all kinds of bugs because it kills roaches really good and it kills ants really good. Well, it must do bed bugs really good, but it doesn't. Crossfire is better. So this is why when I travel and I do pest control, I have multiple tanks in my truck mixed with different chemicals. I have one that I typically have Onslaught or Demon. I have another that I always keep Crossfire in. I have another that I use for Alpine. And so I've got all these different tools. Plus I have dusters. I have granules. I have baits. I have all kinds of other tools that I can use to eliminate a bug problem, because there are some bugs even liquid pesticides don't really work that well on, and you need a dust or you need something else. So do bed bugs live on cats and dogs? They do not live on cats and dogs. Bed bugs do not live on animals. They do not live on human beings. They do not live on living creatures. They live away from human creatures, close enough to where they can come out and bite you. They will live on a dog bed. They will bite dogs. They will bite cats. They will not live on cats. They will not live on dogs. They are not fleas. They do not have sticky pads on the bottoms of their feet that allow them to cling on to animals or humans. They fall off. They don't stay on. They're not able to. So they will not live on your dog. They will not live on your cat. They prefer human blood. So if you've got a person sleeping with a dog in the bed, if you're sleeping with your dog in the bed with you and the dog is itching, it's probably not bed bugs biting the dog. It's probably fleas or mange or something else. The bed bugs are going to bite you, not the dog, because it's got an option. It's got you or the dog. The bed bug prefers human blood. It will bite you. They're called human bed bugs. There are breeds of flea that prefer cats over dogs, that prefer dogs over cats, that prefer wildlife. They prefer mice. They prefer rats. They don't like to eat certain things. It's like when I sit my children. I got 4 kids, okay? Tonight at dinner, let's tell you what we had for dinner tonight. All right? My wife made amazing fajitas. They were delicious, okay? It's fried onions with tomatoes and just peppers and just really, really, really good. Made homemade rice and everything. But Charlie, my 4-year-old, wanted macaroni and cheese. He wouldn't eat anything but macaroni and cheese because he didn't want to eat fajitas. He wanted macaroni and cheese. And Finley, my little baby, he ate a little bit of everything. He ate a little bit of macaroni and cheese. He ate a little bit of rice. He had a little bit of guacamole. Had a little bit of everything. All right? Same with bugs. Some bugs prefer humans. Some bugs prefer cats. Some bugs prefer dogs. Just the way of the world. That's the way it is. So it's easy for me to understand because I got so many kids. And every one of them is completely different. You can't please them all. Last night, I wanted potato soup. My wife makes the best potato soup in the world, arguably. And if you want to argue, you're just wrong. It is the best. It's really good. All right? It's my favorite thing that she makes. And she made me potato soup last night. She divided the potatoes up. Half of them she made in potato soup, and half of them she made into mashed potatoes. The only person that ate potato soup was me. Everyone else wanted mashed potatoes. So I'm the bed bug. I'm the one that prefers the potato soup. I don't want the mashed potatoes. Anyway. Okay, so Teresa. There are lots of different ideas on why bed bugs prefer humans. I don't think any of them are right or any of them can be proven. But the theory is that people picked up bed bugs from caves. Whether it was coal miners, I've heard different theories. People over in the Middle East living in caves picking them up from bats, because bed bugs look like bat bugs, almost identical. There's a little difference with the hairs and the stuff on their body, but almost identical. And they believe that they just developed a that there are some that just have shorter hair than others, and those ones just like humans, and they traveled with humans because they like to bite them better, and that's just what happened, and that's why we end up with bed bugs and bat bugs. But there also are bird chimney swift bugs, which are different completely. So you've got bat bugs, which prefer bats. You've got bed bugs that prefer humans. You've got chimney swift bugs that prefer chimney swifts and other types of birds that live in chimneys. And they won't eat bats. They eat birds. So it's just, everything's different. There's all kinds of different stuff. And spraying shoes, travel bags, do you spray inside or well? I just spray the outside. Wandering, I just spray outside. What's a good alternative for Talstar? I want better results for my customers. I'm thinking the summer heat in Oklahoma breaks it down too quick. I use Alpine. I use Alpine and Onslaught. I started using Onslaught. Sometimes I use Demon. I think Demon is better than Talstar. Talstar and Demon are inexpensive. They're not very expensive when it comes to pesticides. I really like Demon. I've used Demon for 35 years. I like it. I think it's a good chemical. But last year before last, I actually switched to Onslaught for spiders because it does a better job. So, I've heard Suspend Polyzone is good. I was wanting to switch up and try it, but I really like Onslaught Fast Cap. It's really, really amazing stuff. I had a customer, and it kills ants and stuff too. It's good on that stuff too, but I had a customer who, let me see if I can find a picture that actually resembles her house. I want to show you. Man, I wish I could find a picture. I should have taken a picture of her house because it was amazing. But there were so many webs. Like, it looked like her house was decorated for Halloween and it was April. It was so thick. It was just covered in webs in the middle of the city, too. You wouldn't even think it would be this way, but it was so bad. I went out there with Onslaught, and I sprayed her house with Onslaught Fast Cap. And I webbed her house and everything, too. And she has not had a single spider web show back up on her house since we did that. It has been amazing. It is just really good. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. I appreciate that. When is Father's Day? When is Father's Day? I don't ever think about Father's Day. I'm only ever worried about Mother's Day. But when is Father's Day? 2023. I think it's next weekend, isn't it? June 18th. June 18th is Father's Day. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. Crossfire aerosol was probably what I would use for travel. Although, let me see if I can show you a picture. Let's see if I can show you. I got another picture. So I went to Florida. I've been talking about my trip to Florida. My trip to Florida, blah, 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 right? Let me show you what the back of my van looked like. I know I have a picture. I took a picture. You see that? Look at that. Now, is that a pest control technician for you or what? Right there. Took it with me. Had to. Had to. Had to take it. So, that's the way I pack my van when I go out of town. I have to leave a spot for the B&G to go with me. Because I don't like bugs. So. Alright, well, I'm going to have to get off here. I got to get to bed. Because I got work tomorrow, too. Yard treatments, all kinds of crazy stuff I got to do tomorrow. So, I appreciate everybody showing up tonight. All the questions, all the donations. Y'all are just too generous. Y'all don't have to do that to me. I'm perfectly fine. I like to help. I don't mind helping. I enjoy it. So, but y'all have a real great night. I appreciate it. I'm going to send you out with a song like I always do. So, y'all have a real great night and enjoy your weekend. Have a good time. See y'all and be safe out there, okay? Bye.